Hi pals! I found some lovely shrooms today, some mushrooms that I've never come across before. I've been hoping to find them. They're called trooping funnels, and they're out this time of year. December normally is getting a little bit late in the season. I believe they start sort of September-ish. They're very distinctive. Some of them get really large. Look at the size of that. So that's quite a mature one, but they get a lot bigger than that as well. So just looking at, see that moisture coming off, they're quite moist mushrooms. So I've given these a wash as well. When you find them, you often find there's a load of them as well. There was, I've read that there's a ring in France that was found that was, they reckon 800 to 1,000 years old, and they think it's half a mile long. But they're supposed to be one of the tastiest mushrooms, particularly for things like soups and whatnot, but they're also really good fried. So some of the distinguishing features, I'm going to try a little bit of one of these first, just to make 100% sure, and then eat the rest tomorrow. But I'm pretty sure that I'm okay with these at the moment. So let's have a look at one of the larger ones to start with, one of the older ones. So they have this kind of convex cap that's funnel shaped. Almost like a yellowy, salmony sort of colour. Similar again with the stem, and quite thick, the stem of these, quite fibrous, so if you're going to eat those, you have to slice them into discs maybe. The gills themselves, they're sort of a buff yellow sort of colour. They run down into the stalk. And if I find it, I've got a younger one that I've not cleaned up actually, but here's a young one. So that's a nice little sausage there. It's a sausage, it's a mushroom, you know what I mean. And this one I've left the bottom one, so you can see it's got quite a lot of mycelium around there at the bottom, a little bit bulbous. Some of these can get a bit maggoty when they get a bit older, so you're better off eating the younger ones. The flesh is white and firm, maybe slightly off-white, so I'm just going to slice into one of these and have a look at that. So, yeah, so it's all white down there, similar sort of colour to the rest of it. When they're young as well, they're supposed to have something called an umbro, which is like a little nipple, if you like, in the middle there. And as they get older, it gets harder to see. You can almost see it on some of them, but these they're a bit past their best, unfortunately. They're supposed to be one of the most tasty types of mushrooms out there, and when you find them, they grow in massive numbers, so they're a really good foraging one to know. There are some deadly lookalikes though. There's one called, I wish I knew the Latin names, but called the fool's funnel, and it's quite similar actually. I was a bit concerned looking at, because I've never had them before. I see a lot of people eating these and collecting them, but you'll be so careful. The fool's funnel, very similar in look, but it's smaller. It won't get to this kind of size. As with anything, if you're going to go out picking these things and eating them, then you really need to know what you're doing. I'm slowly but surely learning, and I've got about 8 or 10 edibles now that I've identified, but it's taken me a long time to get that knowledge, and just going out and doing it and learning and seeing the different types out there, and then making mistakes, throwing bits out, you know, that you've suddenly realised that you've got wrong later on. But yeah, these are fantastic. Look how many I've got there. And that was only some of them that were there. So I'm looking forward to trying these a little bit later on. Yeah, so they are known as the trooping funnel, and I believe in some parts of the country they've also been known as the monk's head. Anyway, if you get them, enjoy, make sure you know what you're doing, don't rely on me. Make sure you get a second opinion, and if you're not sure about things, then just completely leave it. And even if you are certain and you're kind of new to this, then it's always a good idea just to try a little tiny bit and then wait 24 hours and just see if that's affected you before getting stuck into the rest. Anyway, I'll leave you there. Trooping funnels, close hove dog track, over and out.